is Amaka. Amaka is 25 years old. She's smart, funny, and she believes one thing very deeply. Before you marry anyone, you have to test your sexual compatibility. So, since she was 18, Amaka has been testing one relationship at a time. 6 boyfriends later, 6 compatibility tests completed, yet Amaka is still single.
Why?
I don't know why. I thought she was meant to marry them after the sex, but okay. The main thing here is that every single one of them had a different style, a different preference, a different size, and somehow compatibility just seemed out of reach. It was almost like maybe compatibility wasn't the real problem. She still had to adapt to each of the partners. And guys, the whole idea of sexual compatibility is honestly ridiculous. I have never heard a young person say,
I broke up with her because of sexual compatibility. Period.
Never. And that's because when you do the do with someone for the first time, you are supposed to adjust and adapt. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Married couples, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There can be no sexual experience without communication and intimacy. And those are the things that you find in a fully committed relationship. That's the essence. So most of the time, nobody breaks up because of lack of the thrust. They break up because of lack of thrust. That was good. That was good. That was good. So if the person, hopefully your married partner, is not communicating with you or learning from their mistakes to adjust to your needs in the bedroom, that's not a topic of sexual compatibility. That's the topic of the person needing to learn how to love. End of story. Because love is teachable and love sacrifices. I have a lot of experience. Oh, relax. Let me finish. I have a lot of experience meeting people tell me about this, and I have a lot of stories to share. But today, I want to focus on this particular video I watched that was made by Cruz. It says, marital compatibility can most be tested through sexual intercourse. This is the first thing I heard, and I was like, this is going to be an interesting video.
Let's have it.
Pause. I just started posting again, and see, my new videos, you will love it. What are you waiting for? Subscribe so I can blow.
Why I go buy clothes we are not testing? Is it possible? I won't take no say now oversize on my size.
Come on, you get out. God is not a fool. And women, don't be fooled. God will not create sexual organs that require trial and error to work properly. That's the devil peddling you lies. Let me say it like this. The female organ is biologically designed to shrink and expand to any part, whether small or large. You do realize that you're going to push a baby from there, right? Yeah. The issue, however, arises when a woman has multiple partners. So like a rubber band, you're going to just keep on stretching and putting back, and at some point the rubber might slap. And usually that's the point where there are some sizes where the woman cannot enjoy anymore. Hey! Yikes. This other woman said that she wants to know if man will care about knacking or if he will actually want to have intimacy with her.
So the thing is, for me, about the sexual compatibility thing, I need to know my partner's sexual prowess. Is he the type that when we get there, the bed game is, I want to just knock you? Or is, I want just the slow kind of movement thing?
Shanice.
Yeah?
Your mouth is moving a lot like a rat.
In other words, she's trying to find out if all he cares about is sex or he actually cares about intimacy by sleeping with him before marriage to test it. Here's a very, very different and ancient idea. How about you communicate with him? You can talk to your husband and say, I want this and I don't want this. It's actually that easy. You know, I can't believe this married woman actually said this.
It's not an uncomfortable size. It's not a size that eventually I'll now be like, I'm tired of this size, Jerry.
It's too small.
Me more. I'm not okay.
Boring.
You get. Let me move. Let me go and test another one.
It just seems like this woman just chose to be willfully ignorant. Huh?
It is well. It's there.
Bro, let me tell you something. It might not be that sexual compatibility exists. It might just be that you are a hoe.
Damn!
Not this one. You are a hoe. And you just might be lacking self-control.
So if we have females there, it means we have kid angels. It means they are recreating also in
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Jesus is Lord. As she said this, I realized that there are some people that you don't even need to argue with. This is the type of person that you are taking advice from. She's saying she does not know if angels are having sex. So now I've gone now. Why are we still doing this video?
Cut the cameras.
Adam and Eve, they had sex. There was no marriage before their sex. Who was the priest present? After God wiped the whole world, how did recreation start again? It was father and daughter.
Hey!
God have mercy upon us.
I feel compelled to answer these questions. For Adam and Eve, marriage was instituted by God himself. Adam and Eve were the first marriage, and they were directly ordained by God. There was no human ceremony because God himself officiated the marriage between the two of them. And their becoming one flesh happened after that divine union. They were husband and wife by God's declaration before sexual union. And as for Noah and his daughters, like she said, Noah never had any sexual relation with his daughters. The Bible story of incest actually refers to Lot. And in Lot's case, just by reading the Bible, you can tell that it is extremely negative and shameful. It was a result of drunkenness and desperation. It was certainly not approved by God, and certainly not an example to follow. Sex before marriage is shown consistently as sin throughout scripture. You see it in Hebrews 13 verse 4, and you also see it in 1 Corinthians 6 verse 18. The next problem they mention is sex before marriage helps the partner to stay faithful to each other. On the contrary, sex before marriage actually helps you to cheat on your partner. Many studies have accepted this. You can see the fact check here. But let me explain it like this. Amaka, the 25-year-old girl who had 6 partners, she finally finds a guy who understands what she likes sexually, and we'll call him Chad. He's 29. The only problem is he's extremely toxic, broke, beats her periodically, a chain smoker, and also very nonchalant about her feelings. In fact, the only thing working for him is that he knows how to make Amaka scream passionately. But now, obviously, Amaka, having small sense, breaks up with him. And then she finds this very good man. His name is Tony. Tony is caring, loving, emotionally perfect, spiritual, and is even willing to support Amaka to achieve her dreams in every way. But seeing that Amaka is a believer of sexual compatibility, she pushes him to temptation and gets them to test it out. Now, Tony has been a virgin all his life, so he doesn't do too well. Amaka now becomes torn. She's not satisfied sexually because now she's comparing Tony to Chad. She wants the 4th letter of the alphabet from Chad, but she wants a relationship with Tony. Long story short, she starts secretly visiting Chad to compensate for Tony's shortcomings. Man, that was a great pun. At the end of the day, Amaka is always pretending to be enjoying when she's doing things with Tony in the bedroom. Later on, Tony finds out about the affair and Tony is pissed. But the issue is, Tony now discovers that Amaka was never sexually satisfied with him. But for Tony, it's a completely different case. Because Amaka was his first, he had nothing and no one to compare her with. So he was always satisfied. And he always tried to communicate to her in the bedroom, but she never really spoke how she truly felt because all she wanted to do was live there and secretly go and visit Chad. Their story is a very simple one, and it's also a true life story. Yeah, shocking. And of course, it didn't end well for their marriage. Nobody wants to be with someone that constantly cheats and is never sexually satisfied. There are 2 things to learn from the story. Number 1, the more partners you have, the more people you have to compare your actual partner to, and the less likely you are to enjoy sex with only one person. And number 2, there's absolutely nobody on earth who enjoyed sex to the fullest for the very first time. And that's how the female organ is. It's designed in a way that with time, communication, and intimacy, sex becomes pleasurable. With that patience, you and your husband or you and your wife can grow to understand each other better. So for God's sakes, don't even consider sexual compatibility at all, because that's the goal of marriage, to build intimacy.
Babe, I think this works. Let's try it again.
And vice versa. Marry somebody who listens to you, and marry someone that can take correction, someone that genuinely cares about how you feel and how you like to be felt, and knows how fragile you are or how rough you want to be. But at the end of the day, I'm not married. Who am I to talk about this? I'll leave this video with what somebody in the comment section of Cruise said. Nicole Busari 5493 says, the truth is, you will always have to teach and instruct regardless, and the sex will change over time, so there's no reason for us to excuse a lack of self-control. And those who make this excuse of testing end up sleeping around, cheating, or unsatisfied, and that's the truth. What are you waiting for? Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Media Apostle out.